Restoration guy here again. We're working on an old B. We've got to take these axles out, and I got to put new bearings and might as well put new seals as well. Let me get this in here into the old, as I have the wrong stand. But anyway, see these two main drive gears? Well, that is way too close. And I'm going to show you how close it is when I pull them apart here with the axles, because the bearings are so darn loose. A lot of wear. Okay, I'm going to go pull these apart here so you can see the piston, and not the piston, but the space in there move. And it moves quite a bit. So here's me pulling the axles out. If you look at that, there's a lot of play in those bearings to be able to do that with the axles. So if we just tighten them up, it'll be a lot like that right there. And what happens once that wears? You could get a lot of hitting. So whether the bearings look good or not are irrelevant. That's just too close. This is just from experience and of doing this. So we gotta get a little bit of space, put some new bearings in it, or replace the axle seals and make it like a new. So I'm gonna film this and let y'all see how to do this, let you see that it's not so scary. Well, I guess it's not scary if you got a film to watch while you're doing it. So here's the film for you guys on taking one of these rear ends apart and putting back together. So let's get to it. Alright guys, what you need to do now is remove your cotter keys. I already took them out. You can take both cotter keys out. Now, have to excuse me. My allergies are horrible today. I don't know why. I doubt it's the Rona, but nevertheless, they're kicking. So, anyway, get your cotter keys out. Now you're going to have to loosen one of these at a time. I normally like to start with the left and then go to the right. Vice versa, it doesn't matter, but here's how you're going to have to put it in too. So I'm going to get this one loose and I'm going to pull the axle out and show you. Now I've loosened both of these already. That's loose and this one's loose. This one I've loosened more. Now you're going to go to your whatever axle you're going to take out first, and you're going to pull it. Which then is going to give you incredibly more space for getting it out. So, see how much space we got in there? That's just hunky-dory now. Now we're going to get in here and keep turning that off. Now be real careful. These gears are really sharp. I mean, they are really sharp. So they've been worn pretty pointy, so you can cut yourself pretty easy in here. So I would advise you to wear gloves so that I don't entirely destroy my hand. Ta-da! Alright, pull on the axle some more. You may need to do a little pushing with a screwdriver or a pry bar to get it to go through. Sorry guys, like I said, my allergies are really kicking today. Alright, should come through now. Let's go ahead and somehow pulling doesn't always work. Alright, left side off. There we go. Now we're out, and that's basically all that's there. Is that bolt goes on there, that holds it to it, and that's how you do this. So let's pull out the axle, which is over here. We just look right over there. There's the axle hanging out. Alright, now we got to remove the gear. So be careful. There goes the bearing. Oh! Alright, now we're going to repeat the other side, and I don't know that you need to see that because it's the same thing. Alright, let me repeat the other side. Alright guys, we got it all out. Everything's took out of here. And here's what we got. We have these marks on this set of bearings. We got an old set of mark on these bearings that are like that. But these, that concerns me a little bit. Okay? And while you're in here, you need to check all your gears, make sure there's nothing chipped. We're going to clean all this mess out of here. Get it nice and clean, use some diesel and make that all pretty and good again. But this is interesting. See the wear marks on these bearings? Those little lines, how they're shiny? There they are. See those little bright lines? Well, that's interesting. And on this side, you know, we got this wear mark right here. That's a pretty big wear mark. That's from the bearings being too loose. And over here, and it's not so bad, but you can tell that some slippage has happened over here too. Now, I noticed this big shiny ring around this one. This is on the left one. So I've noticed that ring, and that goes against here. That ring would face this way, and I see, oh look at that, that's horrible, that's not good. But I see this big wear mark here, and I don't really see any shiny metal. I see that, but I don't think that's it. I don't really see any shiny metal anywhere where that big top of that gear was wearing. But evidently it was, and it was scraping, and that feels pretty deep. So what does that mean? Well, it probably means that somebody's been into this tractor before. And since I don't see any wear marks in there, this probably came out of another tractor. And something happened to it, and they had it for parts, and they probably got another one. This is just what I think. I don't know this de facto, but these are good indications that this isn't the original gear that was in it. Very well could be. or a big catastrophe happened and maybe they changed the back case, and that's something they may have done back then. Today that'd be a little difficult, or the whole back end might be out of something different. They could have done that. But either way, I don't think this gear and that gear were paired together out of the factory the same. That's my opinion. Now if you notice on these bearings, here's the right one. I think there has been a bit of slippage. Not so much on the right one, but on this left one here. On this left one, these just came off really easy. And what can happen is, instead of this turning, instead of that, and I mean that really, it's really not very good on there. They look pretty kind of beat up. What can happen is it can turn on here, and this can turn in this, and then it just makes these move, and the whole thing don't rotate. Now when that happens, you start wearing the shaft here really, really bad, and when you do that, you have a look that's kind of like this, where it stays put. You know, you see those lines, and it's rolling, but the whole thing is not rolling like it's supposed to. So, no, we did get it started, and we drove it around. So, but with that damage down there, I mean that's not good. We can't. That over time will just flat destroy it, and you won't have nothing. That'll only be a few hay rides or a couple times in the fair, you know, riding in the parade, and that's over with. It's all of a sudden now you're pulling it apart when you should have done it the first time. So now we're gonna pull all these out. I'm gonna finish cleaning up that stuff over there, and all these will be real clean. We're going to polish this up. We're gonna get these super clean, so when you want to move the wheels in and out, it's going to be no problem. We're going to bag this so it doesn't rust up on us like I did the one over there. So, and the reason why I mark these things is that you really could put it in the other direction. It doesn't matter, even the nuts and everything. But it's the way it came out. I like to put things back in the way they came out. That's just a preference. It's no more time, no less time really. So it's just the way, that's just my preference. On this particular thing, you could cross the axles and stuff, and you would probably be fine. I wouldn't advise doing that, because, you know, who knows, there could be just a bit of difference in length or something, and that's what we're basically, you know, if you put it back the way you got it and it was working okay, and that's kind of how it, and you just check in the book. Yeah, but I from what I understand, if I can remember right, I'll look in the book, it doesn't really matter. It does matter which way this gear goes, to side, but as far as the axles, bearings, all that other stuff, slap it in and go, and it works. So anyway, let's get these cleaned up, and we'll pull out those bearings, those races, and those oil seals. Sandblasted axle shafts, outers. Alright, let me see if I can't get these seals out. Now, you're not going to come up with any sort of miracle way to really get these out of there. You're going to have a tool, something like this, to pry them out, get onto them however you can. But you're going to tear them up pretty bad taking them out. But get them out of there, and then you can get on to the races. Alright guys, the seals are out, as you can tell. There's a there's not a miracle tool, but there is a tool from Gear Wrench that I use. I'm not sponsored or nothing by it, but it's a crowbar by Gear Wrench that I use. Can't see that real well, but it has an adjustable head that really helps. Now you can try to get back behind it like that, like I did, to pull them out. But once you get it so far out, you can get into that little slit right there, and that'll help you pull it the rest of the way out once you get there. And that little slit can help you. But that little notch in there is also is a big deal for helping you get out the bearings. And there's actually one on this side, and if we go inside here, you can see that there's one on that side. Now I've made a really unique tool for getting the bearings out. But getting the races out, for getting the races out, I got a unique tool for that. Well, for getting these seals, you're going to beat them up taking them out no matter what. You don't really have an option. Just get them out of there. Just always remember that the side with the spring goes to the oil, to where the oil is, not the other direction. So, all right, let's let me show you the tool for getting these races out that I made. This tool right here, what I've welded and made, a piece of rebar, and this here hammer is all you really need. Once you get it lined up and you hit it firmly and just right, and you can get around wherever you want. Oh, and don't forget your washer that's in there. It's important to know that that's in there. Out. There it goes. And there's your race out of there. Isn't that awesome? So now that's how you get that out. You have this nice little washer in here. It fits inside of here before you put the it actually goes on before you put your seal in, so it has something to butt up against, kind of like that. That goes in there. So that's how you do that. Now we will take out the outer race. It goes on the outside of the axle. Now this one's a lot easier, because all we really need is a slide hammer with a hook on it. Alright, let's get this out. Let's make sure you can see. Hello. I may have to get a different style hook for this. This one may not cut it. I may get maybe something different. I don't know if that's gonna grab it. Some bigger one. This normally grabs the bigger ones, but yeah, that's something bigger. All right, here we go. This is working. It's in there nice and tight though. Then once you get past those notches, you can get around it and pull it a whole lot easier. There we go. There's your race. That's out. What you got to do is get behind these notches that are in here. See these notches? You hook into there, and that's how you get that. There, right in there. So, whew. Okay. Let me do the other side, and I can wrap this video up. Here are those washers that go in there to hold the bearings. Make sure you go over to your grinding wheel or your wire wheel or your bead blaster. Clean that up and put that back in there like that. You can, but you ought not. all of a whopping 3 seconds to do that. So guys, you know, don't ignore little things like that. All right, we're all cleaned up in here now. Let's go over here and get the light. Rinsed everything off. She's good and clean. Everything's nice. Got all the crap that was in here out of here. Rolled the gears around, did some inspection. It's all clean in here, clean in there. Take a little diesel, clean everything up, make it nice. Clean everything up in there. Now, here's the good stuff. Alright, here's basically, it's hard to get everything in the camera, but here's the axles. They're all cleaned up, painted. I use Sim Trim Black. There's the part number. These have been sandblasted, wire wheeled, cleaned, and very thin coat of Trim Black because you want those hubs to be able to slide on and off there really easily. So you don't want to build a lot of paint up on there. We polished up around where the new bearings will go. Made all that real nice. So and here's basically the order. You know, you got your inner and outer bearings, your middles to seal. We got new seals, We got our dust caps that go on the outside that fit on here. We got that. The only thing we don't have is bearings. So we're gonna take those and go get those ordered. I mean, it's a good thing we did. You know, we find a couple of them. I mean, every one of them's kind of nasty. Take a look at that one right there. That's really pretty crappy. That's not a good thing. So we should have everything work the way it's supposed to. Now, just got to order our bearings in. Hopefully we can get them sooner than later and get it put back together. So this is how you take these axles apart. I guess this is part 1. And then as soon as I get everything, I'll film me putting it back together. But if you see me taking it apart, oh, don't forget about these. Those are your washers to help hold your inner seals in. So now she won't leak oil, and you won't have to go wipe gear up. You can wipe gear oil off your rims. So when we get done, and we'll have good bearings, so she'll roll nice. So this is how you do some John Deere B axles. How you take them out. I guess we'll see, and I'll film some more on doing putting them back together. Hopefully I can get bearings in the next day or two. Well, till next time, thanks for watching. I hope if you're doing this yourself that, you know, gave you a hand, and you know, maybe you won't have to hire someone like me to do it. But I hope that's not too many of you, because this is what I do. So anyway, thanks for watching. Like always, appreciate it. Later.